adofo ne etie fo amhwe me da mu nyina amase ngiri se obadaroma ho ye se de meso me ho ye ade achi biem de na de bia ne emu nsensem nsefufo na de bia edi akoniaba.
So what's the story? The story is that there is a petition that is on the president's desk. We'll be looking at the petition in some detail. But the allegation is that 4 people who are very, very important to the process of the Chief Justice removal appear to have been together. And I'm saying been together because Lawyer Thaddeus Sorry has issued a public disclaimer that there was no meeting. 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 What does the meeting mean? What should we understand the meeting to mean? But the allegation, which has been put in a petition, which has gone before the president, the petitioner is in the studio here with me. This is not his first time of coming into the studio. Young man who is very agile. He is a former. Now, why is this significant? Because that Thursday was the first day that the committee met. Just to recap, what is the committee? The committee is the President and the Council of States Committee set up pursuant to Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution for the purpose of fulfilling all righteousness under the Constitution before a removal of the Lord Chief Justice is actuated. The law says that where any Ghanaian feels that the Lord Chief Justice has done something unwholesome and therefore must be removed from office, that Ghanaian writes a letter to the president in the form of a petition. The president, upon receiving the petition, will forward the petition to the Council of State, albeit with the response of the subject matter, in this case, the Lord Chief Justice. When the petition gets to the Council of State, the Council of State must see whether or not the petition is frivolous or whether there's something to answer. If the Council of State comes to the conclusion that there is a case to answer, which the lawyers call in Latin prima facie, then the Council of State, together with the President, will set up a committee. The Constitution proceeds to delimit who and whom can be on the committee. It says that there should be 2 Supreme Court judges on the committee, one of whom is chairing it, and the other. And then there should be another person, and there should be 3 other people who are not members of the Council of State, and who are not members of Parliament, and who are not lawyers, members of the Ghana Bar Association. So in fulfilling the constitutional righteousness, John Dramani Mahama, together with the Council of State, having told Ghanaians that they have already established a prima facie case, then set up a committee of 5 members. Chairman of the committee is Mr. Gabriel Scott Poorman, who is the chairman of the committee by the Supreme Court judge, a very senior Supreme Court judge, I have to say, and also a member of the PNC. We know Gabriel Poorman would like us to mention that he's a member of the PNC. And then there's also Justice Asiedu, who is on the committee. So the 2 Supreme Court judges fulfilled. Then our own Tr0uble, I'm looking to meet with him. You know, we had a lot of fights back in the day when Akufo-Addo was trying to remove him and he said he wouldn't go. And people like us were fighting on the side of Akufo-Addo. And eventually he was removed. But I went to the Supreme Court and we lost. We accepted defeat. But it was too late because he had already passed the retirement age. He was out. So I'm looking for Tr0uble so that we can spy a little bit. So Daniel Tr0uble is also on the committee. And then there are 2 other people on the committee. Okay. So on the first day of hearing, on the Thursday morning, we've already told you what happened. They wrote a letter to the Chief Justice. They didn't add a venue. Later on, they added a venue in this, you know, I can't say obscure, but in some venue near the Osu Castle. When the sitting opened that morning, the Lord Chief Justice was not present, but her lawyers were present. And as the story goes, the panel told the lawyers that if the subject is not here, we will not hear you. The lawyers were quite bemused because letters had been written to them that they should appear on that day. Some of the letters were addressed to them. So that the panel were aware that they are the lawyers for Gertrude Tokonu. Gertrude Tokonu was not there. And they said that they would not hear the lawyers. And the lawyers should clear off. Go and bring Gertrude Tokonu. If you don't bring Gertrude Tokonu, we are not going to hear you. Get out of here. It was quite hostile. And the lawyers for Gertrude Tokonu were very bemused. And they were quite surprised because regular court practices, the subject is usually not usually, but sometimes not there. Okay. So the matter ended at around midday or 1 o'clock. And then, as the petitioner says, 6:30 p.m., between 6:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m., there was this dramatic entry into this restaurant at the airport's residential area. Gabriel Scott Poaman was there. Asiedu was there. Who's calling me? I'll call him back. Somebody's calling me. Oh, who's the third person? Justice Kulendi, who is not sitting as part of the committee. He's not. He's a very distinguished Supreme Court judge, Justice Kulendi, on the left of your screen. Justice Kulendi was also there. Now, why is Justice Kulendi important in the allegation or the allegation of collusion? Because Justice Yoni Kulendi was one of the 3 judges who gave that expert opinion blocking the injunction that had been filed to injunct the committee's work. There was an injunction filed by the Supreme Court to injunct the committee's work on the basis that President Mahama had jumped the step of not giving Justice Tr0uble the document. Now, that Supreme Court's decision was a 3-2 decision. 2 of the judges agreed with the applicant who filed the injunction, Mr. Asifo, a member of parliament. That application was argued by the learned Godfrey Dami, the former Attorney General. Now, Justice Kulendi ruled on the side that the injunction should not fly, and that he was with the 3 and the 2 others. So Justice Kulendi, according to the story, was part of this dinner. And then Mr. Tadio Sori was also part of the dinner. The problem here, the allegation of the problem, that if all these facts are true, then there should be some concern as to why Justice Scott Poaman, who is chairing the committee, and Justice Asiedu, who is the other Supreme Court judge on the committee, are seen together with Tadio Sori, who is counsel for Daniel Ofori, and which Daniel Ofori has had a major tussle in the court over this EcoBank matter for a long time. And then on most of the Daniel Ofori tussles, Gabriel Scott Poaman has ruled in favor of Daniel Ofori, and Daniel Ofori has perceived Justice Tr0uble as a major enemy in his quest to secure $97 million, 97 million Ghana cedis from EcoBank. Daniel Ofori perceived to this matter. Tr0uble has a reasons for opposing the matter on the basis of law, on the basis of calculation of compound interest, and all of those matters. Justice Tr0uble has a firm, clear view on that matter because she came out of the commercial courts and she's well versed in these things. But let's leave that for now. So this is the reason why eyebrows could be raised if it's true that all of these 4 men had met together having dinner on the same night after the committee refused to hear Justice Tr0uble. This is the story. Now, the petitioner went to the president and petitioned. And the radio newspapers were carrying the story. And so this morning, on his Facebook page, can you put that? Thank you very much. On his Facebook page, Tadio Sori wrote this. It is a monstrous lie. No such meeting took place. It is very easy to fact check that. We know those who get justice through negotiation. I don't understand the second part of Tadio Sori's thing. He says, we know those who get justice through negotiation. I'm not sure who he means and what he means, but he's a very senior lawyer. So, I mean, I know he knows what he's talking about. But the fundamental thing that Justice Sori says here is that there was no such meeting took place. In Tadio Sori's comments, we don't know whether he means that he was not at the restaurant, or that he was not at the restaurant that day, or that he was there but the other judges were not there, or that the other judges were there and he was not there, or that he left before the other judges came, or that they came before he left, or that they were all there at the same time, but they just talked about something, or that he was there and he met somebody else and the judges were together somewhere else. We don't know all of those details. So on this note, let me go to the petition and let's see what the petition says before we go to speak to the petitioner at 25 minutes past 11 o'clock. Let's get the petition now. So the petition is P.O. Box 622, Adenta, Accra, 19th May 2025. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, Jubilee House, Accra, comma, Your Excellency, comma, petition for the dissolution of committee formed under Article 146 of the Constitution to inquire into the petition against the Chief Justice as follows. Is by Mr. Kumi. Respectfully, comma, I'm a citizen of Ghana and one with keen interest in the protection of the Constitution, particularly all steps taken by the President in furtherance of his duty to to execute and maintain the Constitution and the laws of Ghana pursuant to Article 58(1) of the Constitution of Ghana. On 22nd April 2025, the spokesperson to the President informed the nation of the composition of a 5-member committee under Article 146 of the Constitution to inquire into 3 petitions for the removal of the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, Justice Tr0uble Isaba Tokonu. The members of the committee were stated as Justice Gabriel Scott Poaman, Supreme Court Judge; Justice Samuel Adibu Asiedu, Supreme Court Judge; Daniel Yao Lobdomlevo, former Auditor General; Major Florence Bazwanura Dalugu, member of the Ghana Armed Forces; Professor James Sefa Jifa, Professor, University of Ghana. That's the 5. The spokesperson to the President followed up with another press release on 14th of May 2025, in which he indicated that the committee will hold its first sitting on Thursday, 15th May 2025. Respectfully, I deem it my duty to bring to your attention the conduct of some of the members of the committee set up by your good self, which clearly has compromised their fairness and has brought the committee into disrepute. In the evening of 15th of May 2025, between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m., Justices Gabriel Poaman and Samuel Kwame Adibu Asiedu, together with Justice Yoni Kulendi of the Supreme Court of Ghana, were seen having dinner with the counsel for one of the petitioners before the committee, Mr. Thadio Sori, at the Santoku restaurant located at Villaggio Airport Residential Area, Accra. The strange meeting of the 4 persons who are keenly interested in and have played and indeed continue to play critical roles initiated in the processes for the removal of the Chief Justice excited the curiosity of some persons in the restaurant. Indeed, they were overheard discussing matters relating to the petition. Respectfully, the record of the presence of the 4 justices, Poaman, Kulendi, Asiedu, and lawyer Thadio Sori at the restaurant and the meeting they had can easily be verified and confirmed. I like that. The above development is of grave manipulation by any person or authority. The meeting between Justice Poaman, Kulendi, and Asiedu with Thadio Sori clearly has destroyed the integrity of the process and reduces public confidence in the process so far. Both Justices Asiedu and Poaman are members of the panel set up to inquire into the petition. They have no business meeting counsel for one of the petitioners outside working hours at the unofficial place, a restaurant, and to have a discussion. This is more serious when the record shows that Justice Poaman gave judgments in favor of the same petitioner, Daniel Ofori, represented by the same counsel, Thadio Sori, in Supreme Court. Justice Tokonu, the record shows, rather gave opinions against the said Daniel Ofori in one of the cases. Further, Justice Poaman is known to be interested in becoming the Chief Justice following your election as President of the Republic. That's interesting. The petitioner is telling the President that, Mr. President, but you know that Justice Poaman, since you became President, he wants to be Chief Justice, you know. But that's really what he's saying. But Mr. President, why? You don't know. You know that Poaman wants to be CJ, you know, because you were elected, you know that already. All right. Justice Yoni Kulendi is widely known to have been a close rival of Justice Tokonu for the position of Chief Justice when same became vacant after the exit of Justice Kwesi Eni-Yeboah. He, Kulendi, lobbied vigorously for the position but was disappointed by President Akufo-Addo. It is therefore not surprising that he voted with alacrity against the plaintiff, Vincent Ekwa-Asefwa, to dismiss an injunction application filed by him to restrain the taking of further steps under Article 146 until the suit filed by him to challenge the process is determined. Clearly, he has an interest in seeing the exit of Justice Tokonu as Chief Justice. He is known to be interested in being appointed Chief Justice. Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Asiedu is also on record to have been one of those who actively lobbied to be Chief Justice after the exit of Justice Eni-Yeboah. He was also, however, disappointed by President Akufo-Addo on account of being far junior in the Supreme Court at that time. He thus has a personal interest in the removal process underway. Respectfully, in view of the matter set out above, the membership of Justice Poaman and Asiedu of the committee set up by your good self is an affront to justice. The meeting they had with Thadio Sori at Santoku restaurant on Thursday, 15th May 2025 clearly brings the administration of justice in the 3 petitions into disrepute and compromises their ability to discharge their ability to efficiently discharge their duties to the Republic under Article 146 of the Constitution. Their conduct is deplorable and most unbecoming of justices occupying the highest court of Ghana. It has therefore the tendency to show that the whole process, quite unfortunately, is a sham. In the interest of preserving the integrity of the process, I hereby petition you for an immediate dissolution of the committee, as its ability to dispense justice is clearly compromised. Thank you. Yours faithfully, Alfred Abebio Kumi. 20 minutes to the top of the hour at 11 o'clock. This is John Dramani Mahama. Play the promo for me again.
Gertrude Tokonu's impeachment trial turns a major junction as a petition has landed on President John Dramani Mahama's desk, alleging collusion among two leading panel members, a sitting Supreme Court judge, and one of the counsels for the petitioners. The story is that Justices Gabriel Puaman, the committee chair, Justice Asiedu, a committee member, Justice Yoni Kolendi, who ruled on the side of the majority to stop the injunction that was designed to halt the process, and lawyer Thaddeus Sori, who is counsel for Daniel Ofori, one of the most important petitioners, are said to have had dinner together at a plush restaurant in Accra near former President John Agyekum Kufuor's residence at the airport residential area. Soon after the allegations hit media circles, lawyer Sori issued a disclaimer on his Facebook page. We have spoken to lawyer Sori, and tonight we will assess the details of the petition. For some lawyers, they are asking, is it the case of Salah and the Attorney General revisited 53 years after the landmark Supreme Court ruling? Or is this just a case of magnificent grandstanding? What a story! What a democracy! Join us for this